yesterday, just a photograph of yesterday, and all its edges folded, a look on his faded sepia brown, and yet it's all I have of our past love, a postscript to its ending.
And thank you for staying with us. Our guest is Hollywood producer Byron Allen. And again, attorney Alton Maddox is still with us, as well as Malik. So, folks, we'll take your calls in a moment. We want to hear what Byron has to say. He's got a beef, and we're going to let him get it off his chest. 800-450-7876. Calls later. Byron, back to you. I'll let you finish up what you were saying.
I am not angry at President Barack Obama. I am simply doing what most Americans are doing. I am holding him accountable. You must remember, he is temporary hired help. He will be moving out of the White House in about a year and a half. And unfortunately, as the numbers stand now, black people, we will be worse off with him leaving than he had us going in. Most of white America is living the American dream. The Dow is up. The stock market's up over 18,000. The home ownership is up. Interest rates are low. But most black Americans, we are living the American nightmare. And that has to stop, and stop now. We have to hold them accountable. Before you call us thugs and before you call us criminals, make sure we have access to a proper education, President Barack Obama. Before you call us thugs and criminals, make sure we have jobs. Make sure we can get bank loans. Before you call us thugs and criminals, make sure you and I sit down with the chairman of AT&T, and who you just said he can buy DirecTV for $67 billion and get bigger. Make sure we sit down and talk about the fact it is unacceptable to call us niggas and not have consequences. Your friends can't get wealthier and disrespect us. We must be a part of their economic inclusion. And there, by the way, there's been people who wanted to hold him accountable, but unfortunately, black America has done a phenomenal job of protecting black Jesus. And I had a very prominent politician tell me they tried to speak up, and they said he sent Reverend Al Sharpton on them, and they were shut down. But I'm not worried about all that. As a number of people know, I sued Comcast and Time Warner Cable and Al Sharpton for $20 billion for racial discrimination in contracting. So that politician said to me, I can't speak up. You can speak up, Byron, because you're wealthy. You're independent. You don't answer to anybody. You are free. So I'm looking around and I'm saying, if I don't speak up now, which was the original question, then we are going to collapse. And Martin Luther King told us this 50 years ago, and now we're watching it unfold. And thank God we got the indictment, because if we didn't get that indictment in Baltimore, that city was going to light up, and that is a travesty. And so will other cities have lit up. And so I'm standing up for what I love. I love America. I love my people. I love God. I believe in God. I fear no man. If God is next to me, then the demons will bow. I have to stand up for us now, because unfortunately no one is. And when I gave Barack Obama all that money, I never had a clue we would be having this conversation today. But I'm telling you right now, if I have to do it by myself, then I will. But I will make sure all Americans have economic inclusion, especially African Americans, because we are the furthest left behind.
You know, Byron, people listening says, well, why didn't you check President Clinton? Why didn't you go even to the Bushes? Why didn't you go to them?
Okay, well, let's talk about that. That's a great question, since we're going to stay in that box of protecting President Barack Obama. Under Clinton, unemployment was 7.5% for black America versus versus Bush's 10% and Obama's 14%. Under Clinton, Poverty was 21% versus Bush's 25% and Obama's 27%. And Obama has a better economy. Okay, median income under Clinton, 33,676. Median income under Bush for Black America, 38,409. Median income under President Barack Black Jesus Obama, 33,321. The wealth gap between blacks and white, Clinton was 6 times, Bush 10 times. Under Obama, 13 times greater for whites. Okay? Those are the numbers. And I say to Black America, you got to know the numbers and you got to hold people accountable. Those are the numbers.
So it's basically on numbers. But again, when did you get this epiphany? When did you just, because you voted for him twice, you gave him money twice. Was it one particular thing that tripped you out? Was it the fact that he didn't return your call? Was it the Cornel West thing that you didn't get invited?
No. It was Baltimore, thugs and criminals. And then you look at Waco, and then you look at Kanye West. It's like, I'm going to put black men in their place. In his entire term, when has he ever put a white man in his place? Whether he's calling us niggas or whether are you kidding me? Or whether they're shooting up Texas. That's what did it. I had an epiphany. I was looking at this and I said, wait a minute, I'm seeing a pattern of behavior where he's showing white America. I'll show you. I'll keep black people in check. Don't talk down to us. Don't talk down to us. We're the ones who died for you to be in the White House. But our numbers are the worst. And then when he said that, I realized he doesn't really have empathy for us. He really didn't grow up with our experience. See, I was born in Detroit, Michigan in 1961 to a 17-year-old girl. I was there when troops and tanks came down my street. I looked down the barrel of a tank because they occupied Detroit because of the Detroit riots. See, if you're there, I was fortunate to go on to a very blessed life, but I could have easily have been there in the streets throwing rocks, saying, stop killing us. But just because I'm not physically there doesn't mean I'm not emotionally there. I'm there. And I'm saying it loud and clear because for some ungodly reason, a lot of wealthy black folks have just forgotten and are not speaking up. And by the way, it's easy for me to go sit on a yacht and read about this for the rest of my life. But that's not me. I love you. I love America. I'm going to make it better. And I had the blessings of knowing Coretta Scott King and her sharing that with me and making it clear to me that black people have unfinished business, the fourth and final chapter, economic inclusion, the real reason they killed Martin Luther King, the greatest leader we've ever had.
And the piece about Dr. King, I have it on my Facebook. If you folks want to find out what Byron is talking about, that little chapter, what Dr. King said. 800-450-7876. I know we've got the news coming up real soon. Counselor, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
You have a question for Byron?
Well, I don't necessarily have a question for him because I was simply listening as a lawyer. And the thing about lawyers is that they're supposed to be able to pick out legal issues. And so as I was listening to him, and certainly in no way impugning or impeaching his credibility, what was interesting was...
I'll tell you what, hold that thought right there, because we've got the news coming up. I'll let you have your comments or your question for Byron Allen on the other side. Folks, you too can join the conversation. Reach out to us at 800-450-7877.
Yesterday, just a photograph of yesterday, and all its edges folded, a look on his faded sepia brown. a postscript to its ending. Brighter days, I can see such brighter days, when every song we sang is sung again. And now we know this time it's for good. And we're lovers once again. And you're near me. I can remember the rain in December, the leaves of brown on the ground. In Spain I did love and adore you, the nights filled with joy.